We've all heard the saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. There's some truth to that, and there's also some misconceptions that we'll talk about here. The law of matching vibrations and the law of attraction, which is the same thing, means that every person you meet, every place you go, every experience you have is matched with your vibration. That is law, and there's no way around that. So the way you can control that is if there's something that you don't like about your life or your situation, you can change it by changing your vibration. And of course, there's some practices to do that, how to change your vibrations, but we're not going to go into that here, at least not to an extent. Otherwise, the video would be too long. So basically, your friends, your 5 friends, or whoever you're close to, are matching who you are vibrationally. So what does that mean exactly? To make it easier, all you have to do is look at one thing. How happy are your friends, and how happy are they with their lives? That alone will tell you everything. Here's an example. Let's say your friends are not happy with themselves, they're not happy with their life, they're not happy with their job, they're not happy with their finances and their relationships. And let's say they're always complaining and criticizing. So that would be considered a negative vibration. So let's say that they're negative 60% of the time and they're positive 40% of the time. They're going to send that vibration out into the universe, and the universe is going to match that with a person or a place or an experience. And since this is your close friend, that means that you're matching their vibrations. Now you're going to have to ask yourself, how happy are you with your life? And then you're going to see the parallels, the correlation between your friends and you. So it's actually really that simple. So you can perform a little test with your friends and you can ask them, how happy are they with their lives? From a scale from 1 to 10. They have to be totally honest, and then you can ask yourself the same question and you need to be totally honest. And chances are you'll probably see the same results. If they give it a 5 between 1 and 10, then chances are that's probably where you're going to be, right in that area too. So there you go. Now you're matching. Okay, so now what's the solution? I've heard this said many times, and that is you need to get rid of your friends. And I can tell you right now that is not the answer. Because that's going to put a lot of stress on you, and that's going to put a lot of stress on your friends. So first thing is you got to take responsibility. You got to know that you attracted them into your lives just like they attracted you into their lives. So it's not their fault. And it's not your fault either. It's nobody's fault. It's just the law of attraction. That's what it is. So as you start to change and you start to elevate yourself, then what happens is you start raising your vibrations, as now the universe has to match those vibrations with something that's equal to that, something, some person, some experience. And if your friends are not matching with that new vibration that you have, then naturally they will just fade away. Or if they're growing like you at the same rate, then they'll come up to your level and you both can grow at the same time. So the universe takes care of everything as long as you don't force it. So how do you raise your vibrations? We're not going to talk about that here because, again, that's going to make this video way too long. I'll just have to make another video on that. Now here's a cool thing that not everybody knows about. Not everyone is 100% negative. Let's just say that most of the people you know are 60% negative and 40% positive. You are only going to meet with that person when they're in their 40% positive stage. So that means that you could hang around people that are of lower vibration, but you just want to make sure that you're meeting them during that period of when they are positive. And that's totally possible because that's what I do. So here's the other cool thing is you don't really have to try to do anything, because as you raise your vibrations, you're naturally going to meet them during that higher vibrational moments. It just happens naturally. But again, you can't force it. I have plenty of friends, they talk about negative stuff like what's going on with the economy, what's wrong with the president. They watch the news, they talk about politics. But when they're in that mode, I'm not in the vicinity. I'm not even close to them. And the other cool thing is they pick up on my vibrations. So that means that they know I'm not interested in that. And so they're not going to talk about it when I'm there. That's another thing that just happens naturally. You don't have to force that. All you have to do is keep your vibration high. I'm going to mention one practice that you can do to elevate your vibrations. A lot of people out there are telling you what you need to do, what you should do, like meditate, say positive affirmations, think positive thoughts, and so on. And all of that's great, because I do all of that. All of that's good for you. However, the problem isn't so much in what you need to do, but in what you need to stop doing. So if you're a person that's on, let's say, Facebook, and you're gossiping about what other people are doing, you're reading the news, you're talking about politics, you're engaging in anything that's negative, you have to remember that that's going to influence your vibrations. And then if it's a negative vibration, which it is, now you're going to have matching vibrations. So the universe is going to match you with those vibrations that you're having with an experience or with people in your life. So now you're back to square one. I remember attending Joe Dispenza's workshops, and people that get healed from cancer and from all kinds of diseases, after they get healed, he always says, now you can't go back to your old life. And what that means is their lives before they got healed was causing that to happen. And not so much their life was causing it, but because of their thoughts, they were living a certain life which caused the disease. So that means that when you start raising your vibrations, you can't go back. Your life has to change, and it will change automatically, but a lot of people will try to resist, and that's natural, that happens. But you have to remember, you can't go forward and backward at the same time. So you're going to have to, at some point, make a conscious choice in which direction you want to go. Okay, this is a short video, and some key takeaways here are: you don't have to get rid of your friends. And as you raise your vibrations, those friends that are not matching your vibrations will naturally just start going away. So it's an easy process. It's nothing that you have to force. And this way there's no pain on either side. If they're not going to match your new vibrations that are higher, then they just don't want to hang around you, because they're not going to be interested. And you're not going to be left with no friends, because now you're going to be matching new friends that are going to match your vibrations, your new vibrations. Another takeaway from this is you're going to have to start stopping those things that you're doing, if you are, as far as gossiping, criticizing, watching the news, talking about politics, anything that's not leading you to your higher vibrations. So anytime any of that happens, all you have to do is ask yourself, is this leading me to a higher vibration or to a lower vibration? And then you have to remember, if it's leading you to wherever, a lower or higher, the universe is going to match experiences and send you people according to those vibrations. So you actually do have control over your life. You're either going to do it consciously or by default.